Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Unity of Music City Juke Joint. Way to tickle those ivories this morning. That's, of course, Ryan Gill on the piano. We are the Harmony Four, and we want to welcome you and ask you to sing along with us. We are one with God and one with each other. Everyone we meet is our sister and brother. You be you and I'll be me. We're all members of one family. Live in harmony, harmony. We are a part of all that we see. Harmony, harmony. We can be different and still live in harmony. We are one with God and one with each other. Everyone we meet is our sister and brother. You be you and I'll be me. We're all members of one family. Live in harmony, harmony. We are a part of all that we see. Harmony, harmony. We can be different and still live in harmony. We can be different and still live in harmony. We can be different and still live in harmony. Whew. That felt like old times just a little bit, didn't it? That was a Judy Blackwelder original that's a favorite of mine. Those of you who know me well know that after just about every Judy Blackwelder song, I would say,
That's my favorite.
that's my favorite. That's right. But that one truly is. Judy, if you're listening, that's truly my favorite. It is so good to see some folks in the house today. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Thank you for bringing your energy into the mix of what we are here to do today. I've got a few quick announcements for you. First off, the announcement that we're open. So come on back, folks. We want to see you. We need and want and desire your energy in the mix here. We're practicing social distancing. Masks are required. The Namaste Cafe and children's programs are not available, so please plan accordingly. Bring your own cupcake is what that means. And join us when you're ready, or continue to enjoy our live stream via Facebook or YouTube. The Lunch Bunch has been still meeting via Zoom every Wednesday morning at 11:30, reading the book Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Or call the church or check the weekly email for more details. Tuesdays beginning October 6th. We have something new beginning October 6th, which was this past week, so it's already begun, right? We will be having something that has already begun. October 6th, the adult education class, Are We Our Brothers and Sisters Keeper? That is a loaded question, Margie. That is a loaded question. Zoom information is in the weekly email, or contact Margie or Valerie. It's facilitated by Margie Hart, Valerie White, Ryan Gill, and Frank Castellano. And then finally, Saturday, October 17th, the Landlovers will be meeting here from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. to love on our land a little bit. Participation is welcomed. Just show on up or contact the church office for more details. Now we've got an old favorite of ours, and we hope that it means as much to you as it does to us. Place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. the place where God shows up. Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? And will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone. There's nothing I have to do on my own. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God shows up.
Good morning, everyone. This morning's sacred reading comes from our daily word. If you'll repeat after me, our affirmation is, I feel God's protecting presence. Again, I feel God's protecting presence. I feel deep peace and security because I know God is always with me. I call to mind these words from James Dillett Freeman's Prayer for Protection. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. While the path of life is a winding one with curves impossible to see beyond, my faith is strong. And even though I cannot predict the experiences that lie ahead, I am assured that wherever I am, God is. Calling upon divine protection is a prayerful practice that interprets a cycle of fearful thoughts and realigns my energy. As I pursue the adventures ahead, I intend to live fully and with the belief that I am never alone. I affirm this prayer for my loved ones as well, knowing they, too, are surrounded by the light and power of divine protection.
So good morning, everyone. I'm Vic Sorrel, and it is my gift to be with you all this morning. Once again, thank you for the opportunity to gather. And as we breathe together, we consider even more deeply I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where love shows up. So in this time of holy alignment, we just breathe. We connect to that element of ourselves that is the purest, most real aspect of our being, and that is our breath. And in that connection, we know there is no illusion in the connection with our breath. We feel, we know, we are the place God is. And with each breath, we allow another illusion to fall away until there is only truth. The truth with a capital T. The truth that was and is and always will be. The truth of the eternal, the truth of the always, the truth that is love, the truth that we feel, the love that we serve, and the love that we are. The truth that breathes us and organizes the schools of fish and shines the stars and even beats our hearts. It sings the songs that we know as our own. So with each breath, we anchor deeply and more deeply into this love, recognizing it is our own surrender to its ways that brings about the healing of our days, through the healing of our minds, the healing of our judgments, the embrace of love's perception. And together now in the holy silence, we affirm together this embrace of love's perceptions so that we may be happier, more peaceful, more loving spaces for love on planet Earth in the silence. We are the place that God is, that moves and breathes and has its being. We are the place that God shows up. And we feel into that opportunity to completely align our thought, our mind, through our willingness with its will. We are the place that God shows up. For we are life, and it is worth living. And so it is.
And just one power in all the world. There is just one presence and just one power in my life. just one power. God is with us each and every hour. There is just one presence and just one power in my life. There is just one presence and just one power in all the world. There is just one presence and just one power in my life. There is just one presence and just one power. God is with us each and every hour. There is just one presence and just one power in my life. There is just one presence and just one power in my life.
Thank you, Ryan Gill and the Harmony 4. I have to say that your music today did what music does on our best days as musicians, and that is split me wide open. Thank you. And Deb Moore, I was here for that solo. I heard that. Thank you all. It was beautiful. Very beautiful. It's great to be back. It's been a few weeks. And today, because it seems like everywhere I go, everyone is talking about this energy we are navigating right now. The law, that's what I keep hearing. Woo! It's getting hot in here, but we're going to keep on our clothes. Okay, we are. But that's what I keep getting. So we're going to talk about today, well, what do we do with that? Everything that's coming up is coming up for us to see and for us to choose what we would have it be. And that includes when we feel like we are clear and we're aligned with love, but somebody that we love so much is not seeing so clearly. But our opportunity in our clarity with love is to hold the space for them, because we're not confused about who they are at their essence. We're not confused. We're not confused about ourselves. We're not confused about them, no matter their behavior. And that doesn't mean that sometimes we don't maintain a safe barrier, boundary. Boundaries are appropriate. But in consciousness, we hold for them the space of the truth of who we know them to be. But how do we do that? That's not always the easiest thing. How many of you all believe that Moses parted the Red Sea? Not a hand went up. I think it's safe to say we got a liberal audience. Fair. How many of you all believe that Jesus healed the leper? Oh, now we got some hands. Okay. So it's good because today we're going to talk about Jesus the example instead of Jesus the exception. Because that's the truth. Jesus is the example. Although a lot of times, because of the way that we were raised and because of what we come to believe is true, it's very easy that it will creep in on us that Jesus was the exception. And Jesus is the exception. But Jesus said, greater than these you shall do, for a reason. But it's interesting as we grow up, when certain truths are absent, other truths reside. I had that conversation this week. I was talking with somebody about how they got to the age of 25 and they realized, I never really learned how to eat. Oh, we ate. I just never really learned how to fuel my body. I never really learned how to give my body what it needed so that it could thrive in adulthood. And I thought, wow, if you didn't learn how to eat, did you learn how to think? And then I thought, perhaps I didn't really learn how to think as well growing up as I've learned in my adult life. Because as adults, we have this opportunity to take responsibility and to take inventory for what we got that serves our thrive and what we still need. And then it's on us to go and find it. Most often within, to find it. But sometimes insights from other teachers and sources are helpful in that process. Because we can only see what we think is possible. We will see evidence of our preconceived notions. Now think about that. Think about somebody in your life that you've considered to be an adversary. If you really think about it, and you were really committed to seeing the love that they are, did you ever see it? Of course you did. But maybe you walked away with more of a focus on everything else that they are or were. Right? What we're committed to see, we create our own evidence for. And it's really important for us to consider in healing, in seeing the things that come up in ourselves and seeing the things that come up in other people, that what we are willing to believe is true about being healed is exactly what we'll experience. We can only meet people where we are. Think about that. Think about that. And a lot of times, in people that do social work and people that help, are helpers in the world, we talk about, you got to meet people where they are. Well, that's a great ideal. But the truth of the matter is that as the helper, you can really only meet people as far as you've been, as far as you've been able to go, as far as you've been able to stretch. So what's ours to look at that can enable us to stretch into the miracle that we would like to see for our lives and for the miracle that is our healing? Bernard Sirota is a therapist in the Birmingham area, and he posted on social media this week, "You are under no obligation to be the same person you were a year, a month, or even 15 minutes ago. You have the right to grow. No apologies." And that also means you have the right to see yourself and anybody you choose differently now than you may have 15 minutes ago. In this moment, you can choose to see that behavior as confusion, whether it's your own behavior or someone else's. Because as you know, walking this walk and living this journey as a human, we are not always clear. And we've had plenty of our own experiences of our own confusion. We can provide people the space to have the same. We can also provide our safe barriers and distance when appropriate. But it's what we hold in consciousness. A Course in Miracles says if you ask for a miraculous healing, but a miraculous healing would contradict your belief system, that means if you received that miraculous healing, it would freak you out so much that the Holy Spirit would literally step aside so as not to put you into the depression that could result from your own thought system being superseded. Wow. Yeah. And those of us who've studied Abraham Hicks, they say, ask and it is given. So think about this image of yourself. You've asked for something, and it's here around you in energy trying to permeate your thought system, trying to permeate the barriers that your thought creates to its arrival. Does that not just drive you all crazy when you think about that? It's like, I want to know. Show me the barrier. Show me the block. Show me the fence. I want to burn it down. You know? But that's the work. That's the work. That's the prayer and meditation. That's the I surrender my thoughts and my perceptions, such that the space is made for the perceptions of love to be in their place. When certain truths are released, other truths can come in to fill that space. Think about our good friend Dorothy. Not friends of Dorothy, but our good friend Dorothy. And the fairy godmother. And remember all that she went through, and then this sweet lady says, "You didn't have to do that." Basically, that's what she said. All you had to do was click your heels 3 times and say, "I want to go home." All you had to do was ask. And Dorothy had been through hell. Right? And she said, "Why didn't you tell me?" And what did she say? "You wouldn't have believed me, dear. You wouldn't have believed me." We're on the yellow brick road because sometimes we're way too intellectual and smart of our own means to simply say, "God, take this. Please take this. Take this thought, take this perception of this circumstance, of this person, take it from me and give me something better. I give you an empty mind, a willing, open mind and an open heart. You give me something better." When was the last time you heard that happen in a boardroom? I heard a discussion about 2 weeks ago talking about people using the Enneagram for team building in work scenarios. And the coach that was talking about it said something to the effect of, "But you know, the Enneagram can get really intimate. And so I'm not really sure that it's the best vehicle for corporate bonding." And my next question was, how do you think that's working for us? When we're not willing to get real at work. We're not willing to let our vulnerability show at work. And more than anything, we're not willing to allow there to be space for humanity at work. Even though it's there whether we are willing to acknowledge it or not. We're not willing to make the space. Woo! There's probably a higher thought there. A Course in Miracles also says there is no such thing as a faithless person, and the vision of one world will cost you the vision of another. So, if our vision is in alignment with this linear material world where we don't make space for humanity and vulnerability and anything other than pretty, then it's going to cost us the vision of the eternal, the world of the forever, the world of the truth with the capital T. So where is our vision aligned today? When we see the madness on Facebook, when we see the madness in the mirror, when we see the madness, where is our vision with regard to the madness? Is it in the world, in the linear world? Well, they need to be punished for that. They need to pay for that. That might be true. There are consequences. But what do we hold in consciousness about it? And where is our vision with regard to what we're seeing? There's no such thing as a faithless person. It's where your faith is placed. We are a people of misplaced faith, and I really wish I had coined that, but that's a Marianne Williamson, of course. Misplaced faith. Do you have faith in COVID-19? Or do you have faith in the fact that there's something in you but not of you that can keep you safe and guide you to use the tools that are available to you, and even, dare I say, heal you if your consciousness is in alignment with healing. Where is your faith? Is your faith in building a military to intimidate? Or is your faith in employing peacekeeping and peace-building tactics? Think about that in your own life. Where is your faith? At work, where's your faith? In your intellect? Or that if you stay available all day, every day to the spirit of love, you'll know what you need to do in order to be who you need to be in that space? Where's our faith? When Jesus was on the boat with the disciples and the storm came, and they said, Master, save us. Save us from the storm. Of course, everybody was afraid. We're those disciples. But what did Jesus say? O ye of little faith. Not, O ye of little spiritual power. Sometimes it's important what people don't say. O ye of little faith in your spiritual power. What's the difference between Jesus as the example and us? Doubt. For Jesus, there is no doubt. Phew. He knows what he knows what he knows. And it's not arrogant to think that we have this power. That's very important to point out. A Course in Miracles is very clear to say arrogance is placing your focus and your emphasis and your faith on your own intellect, on your own ability as a mortal, as a personality, your own means. That's arrogance. That's saying, God, I got this. You've seen those bumper stickers that say, God is my co-pilot? I believe I'd let him drive. Just saying. I believe I would. Don't you? I believe I would. So humility then is knowing that there's a power in me but not of me, and just as I am willing and able to surrender my thought to it, the miracle of change on the level of thought can happen. And not only can it happen, it's made welcome. In the energy of surrender, it's made welcome. Can we really say that we've tried love as a collective? As a collective, maybe as this church. But as a society, have we really tried love? No. Not yet. Not yet. But every day, we have the opportunity to move a little closer. I think for me, seeing Marianne Williamson on the national debate stage last year was even more beautiful, an affirmation to me that love is making the mainstream, as it was yesterday when on Mental Health Day, they handed me a piece of paper at Orange Theory Fitness that said, "You are not your thoughts." And I went, well, by God, we've arrived. We made it. Orange Theory is pretty mainstream, y'all. You are not your thoughts. Well, you're right. That's true. God can only work through us to the extent to which we think it's possible. So when people say, well, who are you to be self-professed powerful? Who are you to think that you, Jesus, should heal, could heal? And when they said that to Jesus about healing the leper, he said, would you rather I just say I forgive him? Because it's the same thing. Now watch this. Don't miss this. This is real important. If you don't hear anything else today, hear this. We find our holiness to the extent that we are willing to let go anything that blocks our love and forgiveness of one another. We find our holiness to the extent we are willing to let go anything. It didn't say some things. It didn't say the easy things. It said it says holiness and everything. Holiness and everything. A Course in Miracles says the realm of the Christ, which is the realm of all healing and God within us, is perspective. Let's read that. The realm of the Christ, which is the realm of all healing and God within us, is a perspective. Just a little perspective. Just a little tweak. The difference between healing and fill in the blank. What you would have to be healed, what you would be facing, what feels heavy, what appears to be troubling. Jesus said, "No man cometh under the Father but through me." And what that meant was through the mind that was in Jesus. No man cometh under the Father but through me. That's what Jesus said. What the meaning is through me meant through the mind that is in Jesus, which was the gentle perspective of unconditional love. There is no power to heal without the power of unconditional love. Think about the conduit that is innocence. The conduit that is innocence. So we go to the nursery rhymes. We go to the fairy tales. Cinderella. We know the story. She says to the fairy godmother, "All hope is lost for me. It's over for me. There's nothing left for me. I have no hope. I have no future." Fairy godmother says, "No, that can't be true. You can't possibly believe that. If you did, I wouldn't be able to be here." And in her innocence of simply willing to believe, boop, boop, boop. Next thing you know, she's at the ball. The next thing you know, she's got the man. I'm just saying. Bibbidi bobbidi boo right here. The innocence of the child mind. The emptiness, the willingness of the innocent container that we have the opportunity to be. A Course in Miracles, once again, to the extent that you believe in the innocence of other people, we are in our right mind, with a capital R, right. In our wholeness, in our holy mind. The way that might otherwise be is shut out when we believe in the ultimate guilt about each other and we judge one another. So where are we? Ultimate innocence or ultimate guilt? There's the difference. There is the miracle of healing. Ultimate doubt, ultimate faith. Ultimate innocence, ultimate guilt. So these words from A Course in Miracles to conclude. As all therapy is psychotherapy, all illness, mental illness. It's a judgment on the Son of God, and judgment is a mental activity. Judgment is a decision made again and again against creation and the Creator. It's a decision to perceive the universe as you have created it. It's a decision that truth can lie and must be lies. What then must illness be but an expression of sorrow and of guilt? And who could weep but for his innocence? Once God's Son is seen as guilty, illness becomes inevitable. It has been asked for and will be received. And all who ask for illness have condemned themselves to search for remedies that cannot help because their faith is in the illness and not in salvation. There can be nothing that a change of mind cannot affect. There can be nothing that a change of mind cannot affect. So what then is being miracle-minded? Being mindful that we are the ones through which miracles happen, and our minds must be aligned with the reality of miracles and how they happen. We must be aligned. The miracles are here. The miracles are now. It is our thinking that allows the miracles to be pulled through. Some would say the veil. So maybe now we've suffered enough. And maybe now we're humble enough. Maybe now we haven't experienced our own separation enough that we are willing to say, God, take this. Take this perception of this person and replace it with something that works. Replace it with something that heals. Replace it with something that serves. I'm going to invite everyone to close your eyes if you would like. We're going to pray together to close this. And this is a prayer that is written by Marianne Williamson. Dear God, my hope and my salvation, to my intelligence I add my willingness. There is a power within me. This power is yours. I am open to receive it. I am ready to see it is there. And I realize my blindness is caused by my own judgment. My perception of guilt in my family and in myself. I realize my judgment binds me. And with every judgment, I cut off my own power. I desire to be healed of my blindness and judgment. Thus should I be a channel for your love and your power. Such was Jesus. Such was Moses. Such have been others, perhaps alive even today. I'm open. Could it please be me? Could I be such a channel for healing and light? There is such a pain around us. We recognize we've caused this through our fear and judgment. Heal our mind and our bodies. Teach us the lessons we are open to learn. If this means we must be more loving, show us how to be more loving. Send your angels to us to lift the vibration of our thoughts and feelings. Turn us into holy family. Return us to our innocence. Let us see only the love in one another. Thus shall we heal each other. And thus shall we be healed. Dear God, we thank you, and we will remember this. And so it is. Namaste.
Ooh, I tell you what, I am open. Please let it be me. Thank you, Vic. Thank you for that. It is time for our offering affirmation. If you will hold your tithes and gifts in your hand and say the affirmation along with me. I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance with ease so that I may be able to give back even more to the world around me.
Thank you, God, for opening our hearts and for all we feel. We carry you with us as we leave this place, knowing a love that's so real. Here in this moment, we stand in our truth. We welcome the peace that it brings. God, as you guide us, renew and remind us that you are the reason we sing. God, as you guide us, renew and remind us that you are the reason we sing.
Please, wherever you are, say the prayer of protection with us. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
We are love, joy, and peace. Everything else we release. We are love, joy, and peace. This is our gift to the world. We are love, joy, and peace. Everything else we release. We are love, joy, and peace. This is our gift to the world. This is our gift